Hi everyone, my name is Mike Morrison and I'm the Disruption Coach at RapidBI. I've been asked a lot about the LinkedIn group that I run. So what I thought it would be really useful to do at some point is sort of put a marker in the sand and to really share with you the history. So buckle on up and here we go. So it would help if my slides work. Sorry about that. Okay, so the CIPD members group on LinkedIn currently has about 47,000 members. It's now 10 years old. In fact, it was 10 years old in May. And as I've said, I'm often asked about the history, why it started, why me, why not somebody else, where did it come from? And I've told the story, but it's never really been recorded and I've not really written it up as a blog. So I thought we'd do it as a video. So let's go back in time a little bit. About 12-13 years ago, I was a part of what was then the IPD and Central London branch, and I was working with the then chair, Alan Mellay now, and we were talking about what members needed. And at the time I was commuting some distance to go to the branch, and I could get to some events and not to others. And we talked around the idea of having a virtual branch and what that virtual branch would do, what it would look like, how we'd access it. Technology was starting to change, and the fact that more and more people wanted to do stuff online was increasingly important. The fact that the branch would not be a primary branch but be a secondary branch, so you'd have your geographical branch, but you'd also be able to belong to another like-minded group, particularly those that travel a lot for work or those that live in a completely different place to where they work, etc. So Anna and I wrote a proposal. We spoke to the CIPD, or IPD as it was. We made a number of written proposals. It went through a whole bunch of people in the organisation. And essentially over a number of meetings they said that they wanted it. They said that they thought that the idea of a branch was a good idea and that they would go to implement it. Well, time passed. A year and a half, and nothing had moved. And I thought, well, they've accepted the idea. They've accepted that there needs to be something, but they weren't really doing anything with it. Was the acceptance just to shut us up? I thought I still had a need. So at the time, LinkedIn had not long introduced groups. I thought there was an opportunity. Where's the solution? LinkedIn seemed to be it. I was a user of LinkedIn, a fairly early adopter, and I thought this could be a useful space for people to connect and share and to network and communicate. So I thought, let's start a virtual branch. So that's really where the group started. So May 19th, 2008, my baby was born. And a screenshot from a little while ago, there you go, you can see it on the screenshot of LinkedIn. You can see that's when we had the older logo from the group. May 19th, 2008, and it was set up as a networking group. In the first 5 years of growth, we had hit to 22,000. So that's pretty quick going for the type of group that it is. We've always vetted people so that those that are in the group are members of the group. So that's an arduous process. We were rejecting 50, 60, 70% of applicants sometimes. In the second 5 years, or in the last 5 years, we've grown another 25,000. So roughly over its 10-year split, it's been a sort of 50-50 growth, 22,000 in the first half, 25,000 in the second half. It was an active group. We know that 50% of members, LinkedIn used to share these sort of stats. We know that roughly 50% were senior and manager roles and a relatively small proportion of students. And I suspect that that mix is sort of true today. Engagement, again, when we were at the in 2012, when we was at the sort of 20,000 mark, we were getting about 16 new discussions a week with about 149 comments. So fairly active conversations for what it was. Up to date now, we're currently at 47,000 and we average 40 new discussions a week. So as we've grown with numbers, so we've grown with activity. But the great thing is the engagement has remained reasonably consistent as a percentage of what we're doing. The weekly growth, as you can see, was slow to begin with for the first few years, and it was consistent, and then all of a sudden it took off. So the numbers have grown quite quickly. with the numbers of new members joining each week. And when I go in there, there are typically 80 to 100 people waiting to be verified. So the group's still growing. The numbers are still going up. And as of this week, just before I recorded this video, I did a quick screenshot, as you can see there. We're at 47,541. Woo! What a great number. And we're growing consistently. So growth, people value it. You know, people are joining it and they're engaging with it. LinkedIn have done their best to disable engagement, but we're still getting there. We're working on it. In terms of how we're growing, I did a snapshot back in 2012, and around about 30% of all people that claim to be CIPD affiliated on LinkedIn were a member of the group. In 2018, when you do a search, there's about 113,000 people claiming to be members. We've got 47,000 of those. So, you know, we're well into the 40% mark. So over the years, not only have our numbers increased, but we're also increasing the percentage of people that are joining LinkedIn are joining our group, which is great news. And over these 10 years, we've grown up, we've changed, we've matured. I'd like to think that we still innovate. I'd like to think that I still change things up, that we mix things up, that there's always a little surprise somewhere around the corner. Unfortunately, LinkedIn have driven that sometimes. Other times it's about us trying to find new and fresher things. So really, there's the snapshot. I started it in May 2008. We started it with the goal of providing a virtual branch experience for people to be able to connect and share ideas if they couldn't physically meet face to face, to solve problems, to have events. And yeah, we have had webinars and a few other things, but we've predominantly been online. We started informally working with the CIPD a month or so after we launched. Formal relationships started with the CIPD in 2012 when it was growing so fast that they started taking over verifying all members for us, which is great. So we know that when we see somebody and they claim to be a member and they're in our group, their chances are they're still a member. Ever since that time, the working relationship that I've had between myself and the CIPD has got closer and closer. More CIPD employees are paying attention to this. We've had a number of papers relaunched through this channel over the years. John McGurk did some of the first engagement through webinars through this group before the Institute started doing webinars. You would have seen recently in the group the promotion of the employment law line. That infographic was because of our group pushing to show things. I know that many of you have learnt about the EBSCO libraries through our group, and we're going to keep pushing and we keep talking about some of the great benefits that being a member has. So we have, you know, great content, we have good relationships. So where are we now? What's the future? Well, the future's here. The future is today. The future's not tomorrow. Whatever's going to be around tomorrow starts today. There's no surprises here. It's about evolving. It's about innovating. It's about growing and changing. For those of you that want to connect with me, feel free. There's my QR code for my LinkedIn. Follow by all means. So there you have it. A snapshot of the CIPD members group on LinkedIn. It's 2018. We're just over 10 years old and we're growing and stronger and better than ever. Thanks very much, and feel free to comment below or share your thoughts in the group. Thanks very much. Have a great week. Take care. Bye.